Donald Roderick MacLean had a deep and unwavering commitment to safety. That, coupled with his engineering expertise and entrepreneurial spirit, motivated him to develop innovative technology that significantly enhanced safety in underground mining.
The introduction of the long tom drill by MacLean Engineering was a significant improvement to miners with respect to the safety and health of a miner and productivity. The MacLean bolter enabled the miner to move away from unsecured ground.
Those are just two of the innovative products introduced by a man who was destined to enter the mining industry. Born in Winnipeg in 1937, Don spent his childhood living in small mining towns like Chibougamau and Malartic in Quebec, where his father, Don Ducky MacLean, was a mine manager. Even Don's childhood play involved mining.
My friend Bobby and I, we got a clothesline pulley and we had a shaft and we hoisted muck out of it. We didn't get very deep, but I didn't know much else because I never knew that there were anything but it. Mining engineers.
Don began working at mines at the age of 14. Too young to work underground, he spent time operating a cargo canoe. The next 2 summers he spent in the assay office and as an electrical assistant.
He had a broad understanding of what mining was about. And then, as he said, he never knew another kind of engineering except mining engineering.
In 1957, Don went to study pre-engineering at Acadia University, completing his engineering degree at McGill University in Montreal in 1959. At 20, he had already obtained a job as an underground shift boss with International Nickel near Sudbury, Ontario.
It was also a period when mining equipment was just beginning to make a transition from rail-based trams to mobile equipment. And that was the sort of beginning of his idea.
In 1967, after gaining much valuable underground experience, Don moved into equipment sales at Ingersoll Rand. Next, he moved to JMG Engineering in Thornbury, Ontario as an operations manager. In 1973, Don's strong commitment to safety led him to create MacLean Engineering. It started in the barn of his apple orchard in Thornbury.
They made maybe 1 machine a month. And it now has 4 plants in Ontario, Barrie, Sudbury, Collingwood, and Owen Sound. It has branches all across Canada, and it's international. So he has branches in Australia and South Africa, in Mexico, South America.
After 50 years in operation, the company has grown to more than 1,200 employees with 250,000 square feet of manufacturing space. Since its inception, it has produced many innovative products like the long tom, lock holder, and scissor bolter, all having a profound effect on underground mining safety.
One of the engineers at Cementation did a presentation. What he did was he tracked 13 years of mine development in the company and the injury frequency for handheld versus semi-mechanized equipment. The difference with semi-mechanized drilling, 824 less medical aid injuries in that 10 or 12-year period, 75 less lost time injuries. This equipment had a huge impact on safety in our industry.
In 2015, MacLean Engineering began leading the way in the development of electric vehicles for underground mining.
Battery electric equipment reduces the ventilation required underground. It reduces the carbon footprint because you're not burning diesel now.
Don experienced a full circle moment when the new Odyssey mine in Malartic decided to equip itself with MacLean Engineering's electric vehicles.
The underground mine that is being built at what was East Malartic Mines, where we lived, basically right where our house was located. Here his dream of bringing electric underground equipment is actually being used right where he lived and grew up as a young person.
MacLean is front and center with new technology, so they're not resting on their laurels. They're moving forward. Geez, I sound like an ad for MacLean Engineering, but the best ads are usually customers, right?
Don passed away in 2024, but his family continues building on his legacy with his son, 4 grandchildren, and nephew, all holding leadership roles in the company. Don's commitment to safety is still at the core of the company's culture. Don's memory lives on in the lives of people who had the privilege of knowing him.
Don was clear-thinking and focused on providing the right solution for each mine, never afraid to put a fresh sheet of paper on the design table. Indeed, within the last decade, well into his late 70s, Don encouraged the next generation of MacLean management to develop an entire fleet of battery electric vehicles for rock bolting and delivery of mine services on mobile platforms.
He always worked to make sure his employees really felt part of the company. He could walk on the floor and he could talk to individuals and he knew every single person. You know, the last time he walked in the plant, that's where he wanted to be. He didn't want to be sitting in his desk.
Don was certainly well known and well liked in the industry. And I thought about a descriptor for Don would be, he was a gentleman. He was someone that you wanted to sit down and have lunch with, someone you wanted to talk to. He was an interesting guy. He was a joy to be with.